And then if not, we do have a quorum, we could start.
All right.
Dipti, as long as Dipti's not leaving me to butcher leading the meeting like I did
Oh,
last
stop
time.
it, Brandon.
You
Okay,
got that,
it
Brandon,
says
last
we are
week.
streaming live now, okay?
Yep.
YouTube, so,
All right, Margaret, we're gonna start. It says streaming live.
Yes.
okay. Good evening, everyone. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Tonight is the May 23rd AHRB meeting. We have 4 items on the list, and we will be starting with 22 Appleton. Is anyone here from 22 Appleton?
Margaret, that would be Harwood.
Hey, Paul.
This is Harwood. I'm here.
Can you introduce yourself? Oh, hello.
Hello. How are you?
How are you?
I'm just peachy, thank you. I don't know if Vicente Wolf, my designer, has joined. But I hope 3rd time a charm that this should be non-controversial. We took what you had to say to heart. We've submitted new plans, including interior drawings. We've reduced the window size. And I'm hopeful that you'll see fit to approve it.
Are you able to share your screen, or is your designer going to be able to share his screen?
You have the plans.
We do. I can
Yeah.
share. I can share them, I guess.
I can't share them, but the plans were submitted timely.
Let me open it up. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Mr. Harwood, would you like to do the presentation? I guess this is the photographs of the existing building, right?
Yes, I don't know how much there is to present. We've done everything you've asked us to do. We've reduced the windows. They're Mullins. They conform with the rest of the windows. Everything else had been approved in the in the April meeting. And after further discussion at the last meeting, we've resubmitted the plans in accordance with what you guys wanted.
So this is the elevation with the new windows in there.
Yes.
Since I was not here for the last meeting, Brandon and I don't know if Eric was there. Brandon, is this what was discussed last week?
It was. I mean, last week, Dipti, just to bring you up to speed, it was a representation essentially of the previous submission with no changes, and this is what looks to be much more aligned with some of the comments that were coming from the board in terms of creating alignment, reducing the windows to be similar height, adding the muttons to be more in character with the house, and I personally think that the changes made are dramatic improvement to the proposed end result, and are much more in keeping with the house and in terms of scale and character. So I appreciate the revisions. I think they were thoughtfully done. I think the alignments are much more well thought out, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank the applicants for listening to some of the comments from the last meeting, because I think it's a dramatic improvement.
Well, it's not exactly what I wanted, but, you know, I thought we had to compromise to give you what you wanted, and I think we've done that.
Eric, you have any comments?
Just, you know, to echo what Brandon's saying, you know, I hear what the owner is saying, and that it wasn't, you know, exactly what they wanted to happen. You know, I think the board was in pretty unanimous agreement about the last drawing compared to this, and I think that this is a lot more in line with what we were kind of thinking in the style of the house, and not so jarring, and definitely fits in, I think, with the profile and the elevation, I think a lot better. So, yeah.
And I have an approval, so I can get on with this and stop.
Yes. We will. One thing that I did want to point out, which was a positive, was that it's not reflected back on the elevations, but apparently there are mullions between the windows. So I think it will look like a triple, which, you know, sort of doesn't reflect on the elevation. So that's a good thing. I think that we are all on the same page. Mr. Harwood, thank you again for making the, you know, taking the suggestions. I think that we're ready to approve this. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Brandon seconds. Approved. All approved. We approve. Thank you. Mr. Harwood, good luck with your project. Okay. Thank you.
I could log off now.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
I'm leaving.
The next project we have, let me stop sharing my screen over here. If I can figure out how to do that, stop share. Here we go. Next project we have is 253 Judson Avenue. Is anyone here from 253 Judson?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, is this
Anne
Shamita?
Levine. Hi.
Hi, how are you, Shamita?
I'm good. Oh, can you hear? This is Suzanne
Suzanne, we
Levine.
can hear you.
Trying to, okay, thank you.
Oh, is this Suzanne?
This is Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne, how are you?
Hi, good.
Are you able to share your screen, Suzanne?
Not quite yet.
Okay, well, we're here.
Margaret, we could promote the owners also. I believe they're here. Thank you.
Hi, Michael and Shamita.
Hi, Suzanne. Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
I think I'm still waiting for a share.
I could share my screen if you want.
Well, I have.
Yours won't
That's
share?
the best we can do. We can do that, but what do you think? You can't get me, you can't connect me? Because
Oh,
I have
that
some
one.
other, I have a few things maybe I need to show on my end.
Okay, Christina, can we connect Suzanne?
Ah, there it is. Great.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm gonna share here. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Good evening. I'm Suzanne Levine. I'm with CGA Studio Architects, and I'm the project designer for 253 Judson Avenue. And I'm here with Michael Marfioni and Shamita Basu. And you may remember this project. It's a new single-family home. We presented before your board back in November. And we've since developed the building permit drawings, and we've had a few revisions that we'd like to present to you. I think I'm just going to start with a few changes in the openings at the building. We had 2 9-foot garage doors that we've changed to 1 18-foot garage door wide, just to promote ease of access into the garage. And this is the north elevation, the courtyard elevation. We have added some glass at the first and second floor at the north elevation. And we did have a window here at the family room, but we've taken that out to allow for built-ins.
Suzanne,
Yeah.
just real quick, for context purposes, I didn't see it in the submission, but do you have the original approved drawings?
I do, actually.
That you could toggle between to help the board
Yeah.
understand previous approval?
I thought you might want to see them, so I have them here.
Sorry, I just tried to stop your presentation.
No,
but I
that's
think
okay. I think the changes are, now let's see. Can you see I hope you can see you can see the 2 garage doors here. Okay, so this is initially what we submitted for the garage doors. And this is where we are now. And then for the courtyard view, okay, for the courtyard view, now we had, we had a window here. And actually we had a window here on our color elevation, but on our CAD drawings, we didn't have a window. So I just want to make sure everybody is clear on the final design, which is we ended up with 2 panes of glass here. And I will also point out, just while we're on this elevation, as we were developing the construction drawings, we got into the roof lines, a little bit more and realized that this roof line is popping up here on this elevation. Just to let you know, that was a change from the original submission, which I think we had it lined up. And I think I think there was, I think when we initially submitted to the board, we made a few tweaks before we did our presentation back in November. And so those tweaks were not, I guess they were not on file with the building department. So when we submitted for our building permit, they just wanted to make sure that you were okay with what we're showing in terms of materials. And so I'm going to go through a few material changes. On our initial submission, we did have black aluminum clad windows, but they were by Veta. And now we're going with Marvin windows, Marvin Elevate, which are a fiberglass clad wood window, but the same look of the dark black cladding. Ebony, I guess it's called. And we also have, stone veneer in a few places. We have it at the entry. We have it at the side entry, and we're treating the back, the 2-story piece in the back with the stone as well. And that is an Indiana limestone panel. And I think I want to show you one more elevation. We're also using it in the courtyard here. And I'm going to just take you to some of these inspiration images we showed you in our initial submission, but we really like a sort of, kind of modern take on a Mediterranean. And so, we really like these buff earth tones And this is the stone with this very minimal joints, you know, that we'd like to use. And additionally, I just want to make it clear that I think when we initially submitted, we had a more of a different color at the, we have hardy plank in certain places. We have it at treating this 2-story bay with a hardy plank. And we're also treating this piece at the courtyard at the north elevation with a hardy plank. And this is that 2-story bay again. I'm sorry if I'm hopping around too much. And this is the back elevation again. And then this is, again, we're using the hardy plank here, and we're going to go with a color called flint, dark gray color. I have my sample here. I don't know if you can want to see. And I think that's all I need to clarify on the materials for you.
I think that most of the stuff that you have seems to be good or an improvement. I particularly like the roof that rises up on the north elevation. It actually is an improvement, right?
Yes. Well, yes. I mean, I think it's a.
I understand that it worked out that way.
Yeah.
I don't have any problems with almost everything that you showed. Brandon, you have any comments?
No, I think the material choices are good. I didn't know, if you could just flip back and forth between the old approved elevations and the new for the others, or if those are the only 2 elevations that have changes on them. I just want to make sure that it's clear. Yeah, any other,
you know, I
I
went through and just highlighted for you every time there was, you know, I highlighted the windows.
Okay. That's the extent of it.
I'm happy to go
No,
through
no.
the old, but I think you'll see there, it's pretty much the same, honestly. You know, except for those few things that I pointed out. This is what was presented to the board in November. It's just when we initially submitted before the presentation, we were going with like a little bit more of a grayer stone. So we did present this to you, but it just was never formally submitted. If that makes sense.
You know, I'm personally happy with all of the color choices and material selections.
Yeah.
As they're presented. I just didn't know if any of the other architecture changed that would be warranted. But if you've presented all of that, I think, you know, I think that everything that you've presented, I'm happy with. I think the back of the property is also facing, and from a context perspective, the back of the property is facing a preserve, right? That is unoccupied.
Yes.
So,
And
you know, you guys are taking some opportunity to highlight and create some nice open space and other things of that nature. So I think it's a really thoughtful plan, and glad that it's being executed.
Great, thank you.
Eric, you have any comments?
Just, yeah, everything looks great. You know, I think all the changes that you ran through are improvements on the original design, and I have no issues with any of the materials. Looks good.
I agree
Paul's
with what
with us
Brandon,
too.
I'm sorry, Brandon, go ahead.
No, I said Paul is with us too. So I just want to make sure that we give him the opportunity.
Oh, you have any comments?
Hey, Dipti.
Hey, I'm so sorry, I forgot.
It's okay. No, I mean, this is similar enough to the already approved design. I think the changes you made are improvements for the most part, so it looks fine to me.
I think it's a nice looking project. I agree with Brandon about, you know, about what it does even to the rear where, you know, it's a thoughtfully laid out design. I think that this board has no problems with the changes that, you know, that you have made. So I suggest we go ahead and approve this project. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Brandon seconds, all approved. Shamita and Michael, good luck with your project. I think it's going to be a lovely house, and wish you well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Good luck.
Bye-bye. Good night. Thank you.
The next project on the agenda is 24 Eldridge Place. Do we have anyone here from 24 Eldridge? Suzanne, you're going to stop sharing, right?
I'm quitting. Yes. Good night.
Thank
I'm
you.
just trying to figure out how. Okay. There we
Hello.
Hey,
Michael? Yeah, hi.
Hi, this is Peter Gulick from Michaelis Architects.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Thanks. Just here to
Are
present.
you able to share your screen, Peter?
Yes, let's see. Where's the? Just looking for the share screen sign.
You kind of have to hover over whether it is the top or the bottom, and then it pops up.
Over the lower hand or the chat? I don't see-
Yes, you should see share screen somewhere.
Let's see where it normally is. I'm just checking 1 minute.
Seems as if we had the same issue with the last.
Yeah, Christina, can we see if Mike could share his screen?
Yeah, the button down, where it normally is, the share screen button doesn't.
Okay. I think we've got a man. Hold on 1 second.
No problem.
To not be working. We can allow him to speak, but the promotion isn't,
It will let him
it's
go.
not taking.
All right, it looks like we can allow him to speak, but it's not allowing us to promote him to a panelist.
Should be able to.
Like, I can't see what it says. Okay, yeah, so promote them too.
If they can, I could share your plans, I believe.
Okay, I mean, I prefer if we could do it, but if that'd be fine too, if we can't.
It's not working.
Nobody else can go? All right, so wait, Leon's in.
Yeah, they're both in.
Oh, all right, so Leon and Rick.
Hi, Leon and Rick.
Hello.
And are you seeing me, Dan?
No, we can't see you, Peter.
We're
only seeing the name Michael Lewis on the screen.
I'm not sure why that is. It says it says stay as attendee or join as a panelist.
So if you join as a panelist, you should be able to share your screen. And the video, I think you have to put your video on.
Good, you got it.
All right, getting there. How's that?
Now we can see you.
Okay, how's everybody?
Good, how are you?
If I could share the screen.
Mhm.
We'll do that. Can you see that image there, the front of the house?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So, we're just here showing 24 Eldridge Place. And basically, we're proposing a partial interior renovation at the first floor with 2 new windows in the rear and side and 1 new door in the back. So basically, we're proposing to remove some interior partitions to create a more open kitchen, living and dining area. And in place of those removed walls, we're also replacing 2 existing interior roof beams that hold up this side of the roof in that main space. And as I said, at the rear of the house, we're just putting 1 new sliding door in and replacing 1 window and an expanded opening. And then on the side of the house, we're proposing 1 new dining room window. You can see those in these elevations. The rear of the house as it exists now, with the red being removed, and the new window here and the new door. And then the existing east elevation and the proposed window there on the east side of the house. This side of the house is this side here on the left front, and then this is that east side with the proposed window. And that's the extent. It's a small bit of work for the scope.
Can I see the elevations again, Peter?
Sure.
So all the materials are going to remain as is, you're just going to patch it?
Yeah, we're just going to patch the brick. It's a variegated brick, so we should be able to patch that pretty decently. And the windows, we're lucky. We got the same weather shield windows. It's a signature series. It's an aluminum clad window with wood on the inside. And we were able to match the color on that exactly. So everything will appear, exactly the same window wise. The brick, which is in the rear where we're patching, we'll get that as close as we can.
Okay.
That's
And can I see the plans again, please?
sure.
I just want to get a sense for the interior rooms. Got it. So
Sure.
that's the living room?
Yeah, this is
The
the living
corner?
room. This is
And then
the
the
proposed
kitchen.
plan for the living room. We could, if I could show you the demolition quickly, I'll do that. So on the first floor here, on the first floor, when you walk in, there's some closets and another series of closets here and a wall for the kitchen. So we're proposing just to remove these walls and make one larger open space. And then that larger open space is here. So really on the entire plan, we're working on this, the main room on the left side and leaving everything else on the right-hand side as it is.
Mhm. I guess it's more in keeping with the style of the house to open it up.
It is, there's, like a lot of houses, it's got a beautiful backyard and one small door. So part of that is opening it up in the kitchen and then also opening it up so that they can just walk out into the back. This is a picture of the back elevation.
Mhm.
So there's just one small door here now. So
Right.
basically, the window we're proposing is here, a larger window. And then we're taking out this very large window, and that's where the series of sliders goes.
Okay. And all the
Just sliders at the
materials,
back.
it's mostly almost all of it is brick, right, all around, and that's going to match. You're going to match the brick
Exactly.
and you're matching the windows.
Yeah, we've got some small brick patching over here where we remove the existing window and door. And on the side where the new window is, we'll be able to do a clean opening there. So minimal patching on that side.
Okay. I don't see any problems with what you're doing. Let me go through the board. Paul, are you there so that I don't forget you?
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
No,
Do you have any comments?
that's fine. No, this seems like a no-brainer. The changes you're making fit with your interior plans, and they look good.
Okay.
Brandon?
Yeah, my only question would be that the window exterior, the trim and the windows at the exterior be painted the same. It looks like a bluish gray color as the balance of the house. So I know that the new window, the trim at the sliders, some of those sliders come pre-manufactured in a specific finish. So is the intent, I just wanted to confirm the intention is to match the painted trim for all of the new openings, new windows, new sliders, et cetera.
Yeah, exactly. And that trim, it's even there's no exterior trim. It's an inset window. So that trim is a brick mold trim that does come from the manufacturer.
Right. Yeah.
And, luckily the color spot on and everything. So it'll really look seamless in terms of the windows.
Great.
Eric, you have comments?
Yeah, I think you guys are really keeping with the style of the house, and I think that the doors will be an improvement over what's currently there. And as long as we're matching materials and the windows are going to be exactly the same like you say they are, I think like Paul said, it's a no-brainer.
Great. Are there any neighbors?
Excuse me?
Are there any neighbors?
There are neighbors?
I don't know. I'm asking.
Oh, are there neighbors in the meeting, do you mean?
Yes, sorry. I forgot to ask the last two projects, but this one, since it's a new project, the other two are both all existing old projects.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's anybody here, so I suggest we approve this project. I have a second.
I'll second.
Paul seconds. Thank you. All approved. The next project on the agenda is 21 Bellaire Drive.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
You're
everyone.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leon. Good luck. Do we have anyone from 21 Bellaire?
Hello, this is Jay Robert.
Hello, can you
Hi, how
introduce
are you?
yourself?
And I believe Dan Cantelmo, our architect, is also joining.
And you are the architect? Or Dan is the architect?
Dan is the architect.
He's on.
There's Dan.
Okay. Hello,
Hi, Dan. Can you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Dan Cantelmo, the architect. And you are seeing this for the first time. We've been to the zoning board and to the planning board, and hopefully this is our last stop.
Okay.
So it's an existing home, and we are proposing to enclose a rear porch with living space and then add a deck outside of that to the west side, which faces the river. So there's a little bit of a river view from this spot.
You're able to share your screen, Dan?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Let me just see if I can scroll. Okay. So the darker line is just showing the existing house. The gray area here is the roof over the existing porch, which will remain and gets filled in with living space. And then this area is the deck. Again, existing porch. This staircase will be removed in place of the deck. This is existing. So this is important to note that, this is the roof line that is there now, and we're leaving that intact and just filling this area in with, in this case, in this side, one window. On the opposite side, one window, and this side will be all glass. Let's see. Another view of the new. And these are the elevations that show, again, side view, which is simple. We're just matching siding, trim, windows. And same on this side. This is the side view of the deck. So it's also important to note that there's very little level backyard. So they want to be able to entertain on the level of the house and potentially use beneath it, though it's a little bit of a low headroom. But there's there's only so much they can do there because it's existing. This view here is from pretty far behind the house. From this level here, which is the rear yard grade, to where the property ends at the west side, it drops 30 feet in elevation. So it's a constant slope. You can kind of see the side yard here where there's an existing retaining wall and we're just repairing that. but you can see the difference already. I think this is probably 10 feet. And then it continues downhill another 20 feet. So not very much of a chance to really see the house from the street below because it's so far down. And then from the front, you won't see the work that's going on here. But basically, again, existing roof line, and we're filling it with sliders, 16-foot sliders onto the deck, and then a fixed window and a fixed window to balance the exterior. I don't see.
And what did you need the variance for?
They got the variance for extending a non-conforming for the porch because it was in the setback and they were enclosing it.
I see. It must be the side yard, I guess?
Yeah, the setback
Yes.
line would be right
Correct.
about where my cursor is. And because we were filling this part in, we needed it for, 10 square feet or something like that to be able to close in the porch, even though the porch was already non-conforming.
And that third level exists as is, right?
Yes.
It's interesting. It must have been an addition at some point,
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
right?
We did not do that. Yeah, you can probably see what was the original house here,
Uh-huh.
the gambrel, and then somebody
Right.
decided to do something. I mean, the photo, I don't see the photos in my file here. I have to say, in the photos, it's not as harsh as it looks in this drawing.
It does look harsh.
I mean, I always say to clients, like, this is the worst it will ever look because you're looking straight on everything, but it's slightly more subtle in real life.
Those three windows are just behind me. I'm up in that third floor room.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you must have an awesome view from there, right, Jay?
It's spectacular, yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
I can figure. I understand why they did the third floor, even though it sort of looks like a mishmash, especially on the rear side.
Yeah.
But as Dan pointed out, it probably is not that visible from anywhere, right? Especially
No.
not from Magnolia.
Jay, do you?
I can share, if I could share my screen, I could show.
I can also hold up a photo too if you want to see it. But
It's not visible. I live off of.
You live close by there,
I
right?
live down. Yeah, you could probably see
Forgive
it
me, but
from there.
this is part of the submission, but I'm not bringing it up. So this is the front of the house.
Okay. Yeah, the
So
front is
it's-
very charming.
It's pretty well covered. And then not a great view, but here's the back.
Got it. Okay.
So, it doesn't.
From Magnolia, if I'm not mistaken, it's pretty densely covered by foliage and trees
Yeah.
from a view perspective.
Oh, yeah, you can't really see up.
Right.
We are matching the siding, matching the trim. Same with the deck wrap, would be white. The columns will be wrapped with white trim.
And that's new railing, Dan?
Yeah, we opted for the cable rail for the obvious reason of the view. We kind of grappled with that because
And the lower railing is existing and that's going to remain?
the lower railing, do you mean in rear elevation A?
Yes.
So that's out on the retaining wall.
I see.
So
And that's existing?
No, it's well, the wall has to be repaired. So, it has to be rebuilt, but because it's like 30 feet from the house and down low, it's not an issue as far as blocking the view from the house or the deck. But with the cable rail, we did want to be able to see through it as much as possible. Especially since, this is so typical, where you're sitting in the left side, that fixed window is a breakfast room. On the right side, it's a living room. And so when you're sitting it makes it even worse. You're kind of looking through the handrail, and then the fact that we're elevated, the view is down. So you'd always be looking through the railing system to the view. It isn't until you're standing up outside on the deck that it's unobstructed.
So the question would be, is not so much as I don't have any issues against cable railing, is the fact that you have a lot of different materials. What color are the posts going to be? Are they going to be sympathetic to what railing is going to be on the lower level? Because it just seems like a lot of mishmash. I understand that nobody can see it. This is as much for the owner and you as anything else.
Yeah, so we really wanted to just keep with the colors of the house and just have everything white.
Okay. So the posts between the cable railing will be white, the columns on the bottom will be white, all of the railing on the lower level will be white?
Right.
And Dipti, in terms of the different style and railing, I think given that that it's so far away, it doesn't look like it in the rear elevation, but on the left side elevation, it is pretty significantly farther away.
It's
so
much lower. No, I see that.
So I
Got
think I think and I think it's, you know, the other is in keeping with the front elevation of the house. So I'm personally not opposed to the cable rail for the specific application.
No.
It is a lot of it. But.
Got it. Do you have any other comments, Brandon, since you started?
No, sorry to interject. No, I think, I mean, I think maintaining the front elevation and simply extending at the back is fine. I think taking advantage of the views from that way, you know, this really, there aren't a lot of sight lines. It lives up on top of the hill respectively, but I think what was previously approved is one thing way back when during other additions. I think what is being proposed here is in keeping and a nice addition to the back elevation. I mean, there are some fairly large picture windows, but I think it's a little bit of a mismatch in terms of the windows as a whole on the house. So in terms of double hungs with, you know, muttons on some, non-muttons on others. So I mean, I don't think it's adding or detracting from what was already existing. So
True. I agree. And not only that, the windows on the back are nicely balanced, which keeps, you know, with what's existing on the second floor. The third floor, I assume, is not visible. I don't have any problems. Paul, you have any comments?
Yeah, I was going to mention exactly what Brandon just mentioned. The mismatch in windows, you've got the divided light, and then you've got double hungs, and you got what look like some casement windows. But it seems as if the variation in window treatment is grandfathered in. There's already a mismatch of windows. Now, if you're going to replace windows in the future, it might be a good idea to create some harmony there where the harmony does not currently exist. I think that the architect did an admirable job going along with what Dipti just said in terms of the balance of the window treatments in the rear, which is really the only way that this would work, is by creating that balance, because otherwise I think it actually wouldn't work, because then it just becomes too, there's just too much variety. But I mean, it's not visible from the street anyway, so long story short, I think it's fine.
Great. Eric, you have any comments?
Yeah, just kind of echoing what everyone says. You know, there's obviously a lot going on in this house, and yeah, there is a lot of different window styles all around. But yeah, since it is already a little bit of a hodgepodge, you know, I think that the current scope of this, enclosing the porch, I think, is a fine addition to it. And, with that being said, I don't have any issues with it.
Great. And do we have any neighbors? Nope, I don't think so. So I suggest we approve this project. Do I have a second? Brandon
second.
seconds, all approved. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Good luck with it. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate
you.
the presentation.
Thank you all
Good
so very
luck.
much.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
So much.
Okay, I guess we can adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second to adjourn the meeting? Paul seconds. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
I.
Have a good night.
Yeah,
Night, everyone.
good night.
Good night, Dan. Thank you. Thank you.